we have a sort of a Damian Lillard update here, Crowder. Are you ready?
You're going to tease me again.
Yeah, this is a tease.
Okay.
This is a tease, but I think it's a tease in the right direction.
Okay.
Aaron Fentress, he covers the Trailblazers for the Oregonian, which I happen to think is a great name for a newspaper.
Terrible.
I think it's an excellent. The Oregonian is such a great name for a newspaper. He said that the Trailblazers hope to get plenty in return for the superstar guard. On a podcast, if Portland can come out of this with 4 first-round picks and at least 1, if not 2 young talents plus salary filler, that should get it done. I'm told right now the Heat has 3 firsts, Tyler Hero, filler, and maybe a young player already, like willing to go with that. I'm told it's pretty close.
I like it. Exactly what you said. You've said this for days. 3 or 4 first. They got and Jovic. Jovic is already a 1, so he's a young player. You got Tyler Hero. If they want Duncan, you got to throw him in. And then Lowry if they want him because he got a bunch of money under his name.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry would probably. I feel like he would have. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like to bring in Dame, he would have to be moved somewhere. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Mickey's just gonna pay that tax, not just the tax, but the tax. And then somebody asked Ira as well regarding the Damian Lillard drama. Could you explain the minutia involved in removing the Stepien rule block from the first-round draft pick options that the Miami Heat currently owes Oklahoma City in 25-26? This is a little complicated. I even struggle with all these rules and the cap rules in the NBA, but I thought Ira did a pretty good job at explaining it. By NBA rule, teams are not allowed to be without a first-round pick in successive future seasons. It doesn't have to be their own pick. So they can't give out multiple first-round picks in consecutive years, such as the Stepien rule named after late Cavaliers owner Ted Stepien, who loved nothing more than trading away any and every available first-round pick. Under the modified trade terms with the Thunder, Oklahoma City receives the Heat's first-round pick in 2025 if it is outside of the lottery numbers, 1 through 14, or else the Heat's unconditional first-round pick in 2026. Though that's currently what OKC and the Heat have agreed to. They have the 2025 Miami Heat first-round pick, but it's protected if it's a lottery pick. And then if it ends up being a lottery pick, which we hope it won't be, Oklahoma City gets 2026 unconditional. So that means by rule, the Heat currently aren't able to trade their 2024, 25, or 26 or 27 first-round picks at the moment, only able to deal 28 and 30 because OKC has 25, so we can't send 24 because we can't send back-to-back years, and we can't send out 26 because, again, Oklahoma City is 25. So that's where the Heat are at right now. The workaround, Ira explains, would be for the Heat to change the terms so that the Thunder get the Heat's unconditional first-round pick in 2030. At a point, Jimmy Butler would be 40, Lillard 39. Under that scenario, the Heat then would be able to trade first-round picks in a potential Lillard or other deal in 24, 26, and 28. But that does not necessarily mean the Heat would want to or would need to include 3 such first-round picks for Lillard. So I think we're getting to a point where what we talked about the other day, the Heat are at this point the only legitimate offer. And no matter what Joe Cronin says, he's waiting for other teams. The Heat aren't going to go through these leaps and bounds to free up the 2025 first-round pick with Oklahoma City if they don't feel like they need to.
Yeah.
That's where they're at right now. So Miami, I think it's clear, is not saying whatever you want, as we had originally thought. And I think if it needed to get to that point, they would. But right now, they're not doing, hey, Cronin, whatever you want, other than Jimmy and Bam, take it. They're not doing it because they hold some leverage here for the time being that no other team has made an offer worthwhile.
And I just, not defending Cronin because, he's really he got put in the corner by Damian Lillard and all this. Hey, Cronin, we'll give you a first-round pick. You said 2030, Solana.
Mm-hmm.
He might not, he probably won't have a job in 2030. He might not be alive in 2030. That's 7 years from now. That's the funny thing about the NBA. When you start talking about these trades and the picks they get, it's 6 and 7 years down the road.
Yeah.
Football never does that. You're not trading away a first-round pick in 7 years. But the NBA, with the step-in rule and all that, you have to figure it out. They have to get the haul back they want. But if I was Cronin, I'd be like, bro, work this 2025 out. Don't give me something 7 years from now.
You're essentially getting back a 13, 14-year-old right now. 2030, 7 years away. Think about that.
Yes.
You're trading for a first-round pick of guys who are freshmen in high school, 8th graders right now.
Mm-hmm. Let's go to the YMCA and see what this pick from the Heat is going to give us.
But if you're the Blazers and you're looking at what the Heat are doing now, and you're saying they're all in on this core of Jimmy, Bam, and X player, we think it's going to be Damian Lillard. A lot of organizations do this. The Cavs have done this in the past. They go all in on LeBron and Kevin Love and Kyrie. And what follows that the next couple of years after? It's rebuild era. It's lottery era. And teams bank on that happening, right? This team has their run, and then the Heat have to kind of tear it all down and rebuild again and go through some tough years. And they're hoping that in 2028, that pick will be valuable. So, and that is a fair way to look at it if you're an NBA executive, because for the most part, that happens around the league. Teams go all in one era, and once that era is done, what do? What are the Jazz doing right now? What are the Rockets doing right now? They're tearing down, and they're trying to build for the future, and usually that means you're a lottery team.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying for Joe Cronin. But I understand, and I've talked to somebody, argued really with people about this, where the 2030 pick sounds crazy right now. But to your point, now in 2026, 2027, that 2030 pick is right. It is that 2 or 3 year window you're speaking of. So
Right.
I understand that they're not banking on that pick being a guy that's 14. They're putting that pick in their bank for future acquisitions or future transactions. I understand that. But I love the fact that the Heat aren't jumping through hoops because you have no competition.
None.
If I'm the only, what's the island that Gal Gadot and them live on?
I'll
Super Island, Adventure Island.
Yeah.
That's in Tampa. Universe of World Girl Universe. You know what I'm talking about. The universe with all the girls that jumped through the hoops and ran around on horses. If you're the only man on that island, you don't have to pitch too much woo.
Themyscira.
If I'm the only man on Themyscira, do I really have to show out and impress him? Do I have to shave every day?
No.
I don't, because I'm the only show in town. The Heat are the only show on Portland's Themyscira. Why are we going to jump through hoops for you?
Just eloquently put there from Channing Crowder. That is a perfect way to describe the Damian Lillard story.
I got you.
The only guy on Themyscira.